Hey guys, accomplished the impossible here with a very cool video. I haven't seen one of these videos put on YouTube yet, so we're gonna do it. This is an XG-100P Harris portable radio. This is the first portable radio that they came out with on their lineup that is a full band coverage. So this covers VHF, UHF. Essentially, it covers the exact same as what Motorola would call UHF R1 and UHF R2. Covers 700, 800 meg, does wideband, narrowband, P25. This one in particular is what you would call fully loaded. Phase 1 trunking, Phase 2 trunking, which is FDMA and TDMA. And it is just tons of features in here like GPS, Bluetooth, some encryptions I'll probably never use, but I was ready to finally get a all band radio and solve the problem of having 4 or 5 XTS 3000s to get me through whatever situation I was in. This particular radio, I gotta just make a disclaimer here. This is not a commercial. I am not using this radio for commercial reasons. I am not a professional Harris dealer or professional Harris technician, so this is just a quick video to show what this Harris does and why I prefer it over a couple of brands I've used in the past. And so that being said, this radio is a brick. If you are looking for a radio out there that has a small form factor, this is probably not going to be your radio. That being said, it is about the same size, give or take, in width and thickness, or diameter and the width of the screen, as a XTS 3000. The biggest pro on this radio is this radio, fully loaded, was about $1,300 on eBay. And I got it from a guy named Ricky Thompson. Shout out to him. This was a great radio. It was a great buy. I mean, if I got this radio without knowing anything about it, I would say it's brand new because of the quality. It looks that good. I mean, the screen is perfect conditions. I just got some of my thumbprints on there. The back of it's good conditions. This is an extra radio battery I had laying around. Top screen is in perfect condition, and it's just no scratches whatsoever. So thank you, Ricky, for sending me a great radio. So like I said, a pro to this is the price. This was about $1,300, and you're not going to pay an arm and a leg to get yourself into a dual or multi-band HT. That is P25 capable and non-affiliate scanning capable. These Harris radios, if they have phase 1 and phase 2, will do non-affiliate scan, and it is very easy. Motorola, forget it. Kenwood, forget it. BKR9000, they'll do non-affiliate scan as well. So if you're looking for non-affiliate scan, this might be the radio for you. Another con that I don't like about it is the software is atrocious to get, which is RPM 1. That is going to run you at least $600, and if you get trunking on the software as well, sky's the limit. You could pay anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200, so you really got to watch out for that. I guess another con would be the size of this antenna. It's just huge. This is probably one of the biggest antennas I've seen on a HT. So I think the BKR9000 might be a little taller than this, but this is pretty big too. So as far as my cons, those two are my biggest cons, is the price of the software and how hard it is to get. It's still a lockdown software. Harris is using that for some newer radios. It will still cover. So if you can get that radio and you have the RPM 1 and RPM 2 software, this radio is going to be a really good friend of yours, especially for the price. The last con I have about it is the feature list. Like Motorola, these radios come with buyable feature options from Harris or the manufacturer. So these radios come with all sorts of different features, locking them down or opening them up to different outcomes. Like I said, this particular radio is fully loaded. The only option it doesn't have on it that I didn't want was option 58, which is Unity wideband disabled. And that's really important because if you're going to be using this radio for amateur use in any way, shape, or form, that is going to pretty much be a game ender right there. Unity, option 58, Unity wideband disabled, will disable all wideband functionality. And it will not allow you to key up on anything that is set in the software for a wideband scenario. So you really got to be careful of that. But if you do find one that is just a run-of-the-mill all mode, all band radio, and it doesn't have phase 2 trunking, and you're just going to use it for amateur use, man, it is a great radio. And the ones without phase 2 trunking go for about $500. Beat that price. I mean, come on. So, and they're still in relatively good condition. Another pro I have for this guy is the screen. Let me wipe that screen off. This thing is just dirty as heck from my greasy fingers. Anyway, this is the screen, and the screen itself is just beautiful. It's a really calm blue screen, and it does it has some really cool features. Up here is the reception. The lightning bolt just tells me I can transmit on the frequency. And then it's got the brand for Harris, it's got the battery indicator, and then my little Bluetooth indicator shows me that it is Bluetooth enabled. Shows the channel at the top and then the system at the bottom. And then we got the full keypad for navigating the menu. So if I go to menu and I go to my zones, I can navigate all of my different sets that I defined in the RPM software. So in this particular case, got RPM, GMRS frequencies 1 through 16, 16 through 22, and so on and so forth. And it's got some local amateur repeaters in there. Why not? So when I first got this radio, one of my complaints about it was the buttons were a little sticky, but after I've been using it, they are much more responsive. So I think if you leave these radios sitting around in a box somewhere, and you pull them out, you're going to have probably the same issue where the buttons won't be as responsive. But the more you use them, the more compatible they are, and they'll work just fine. Another huge pro to this is the programs, the way they work. This radio, like I said, is set up currently for a NAS, non-affiliate scanning of some local agencies I have in my area. And the biggest advantage to that is I can go from phase 2 trunking, and it will affiliate with all of my it will affiliate with my trunking list and start scanning everything I'm in, and it will know all the towers automatically. And then I can just go over to conventional and select conventional separately. So I don't have to intermingle trunking and conventional. They're two separate systems, and they're never going to talk to each other or see each other in the programming. So that's kind of a pro. I like how the organization of that is done. And I have some really, really good selectable options. So another great little feature about this radio I really, really appreciate is the Bluetooth. It's very simple to use. To add a device, pairing management. If your radio is Bluetooth enabled, you can pair it wirelessly to a PC with the RPM software on it. And you don't need a programming cable, so that might save you some money. And then you can pair this to a headset. You can pair this to a Bluetooth speaker. The newer cars you cannot pair. At least my F250, I can't pair this to sync. The older cars you can. So I think that has to do more with the sync option than anything else. But that's fine because I'm planning on getting a mobile in there anyway. What else is about this radio that I like? The scan feature is really cool. Currently, my scan is set up here to this little concentric switch. That is no scan, that is scan. And then it has a really neat top display. I'm sorry for the little bugginess there. Simple, these are the short names, channel 1, this is on GMRS. That red button is the E-tone. Like I said though, it's a brick, so if you're gonna have this on your belt for your daily driver, you're gonna notice the weight real quick. That's about all it is. If you're gonna get one of these radios, little piece of advice is when you get it, you want to change in the settings. So if you go to settings here, you should see an option where it says battery settings. And in battery settings, right now I have mine set to battery type Ni nickel metal hydride. That is a big thing you gotta keep in mind. If you had this set on the lithium setting and you put in a nickel metal hydride battery, this will drain the battery within about 20 minutes. Couldn't figure out why I had all these bad batteries. Turns out my batteries are fine, it was just on the wrong mode. After setting that, the radio lasts me about 8 hours during the day on a used Jaguar P700 battery, so I think they're still good. And I mean, that's about it. It's got a clock built into it, so if you're in a conventional channel or a trunking system, sometimes you're able to actually see the clock. I don't have the clock set on that particular zone. It's kind of a quick video. There's really just about everything to talk to. Quick, just went over. Oh, you can buy lapel mics for these and little accessories, give or take. But for a multi-band radio, I think it's a good buy. I don't have any problems with it. There's some glitches out there. I've heard people saying that the screen will freeze up, the buttons will freeze up. I have yet to see that. I've never encountered it. Maybe it was an issue. Probably was. I'm not sure. The predecessor to this radio is the XL-200P. That is the next version up. And then after that, they had the XL-400. And forget buying those. Those are probably stupid expensive. So hope you all appreciate this video, or maybe it is helpful to somebody that's looking into these radios. I really like the radio. I just wish that the software was easier to get. It's just way more difficult than sometimes it's worth. So with that being said, have a great day. This is Accomplish the Impossible, out.